On this episode, we talk about why I ask weird questions. We go way back in time for the artist spotlight, and I talk about prioritization. Hey everybody, and welcome to Finish Friday, the show that helps more creative people change more lives. I'm your host, Todd B from Tennessee, and I created this show because on a scale of 1 to removing 1,000 seed ticks from your feet and ankles, creating things is hard, and finishing those things is even harder. So you might say I had a interesting weekend. The wife and I went hiking this past weekend. We thought it was going to be fine. It was cool. We went into the woods and came out with hundreds. Literally, you guys think I'm joking. If you're not from Tennessee, a seed tick is a tick, but like tiny. It's the size of a pencil head basically, and they travel in packs, and so we had hundreds of these things crawling up our legs and stuff. It was insane. Lesson for the weekend: don't go hiking in August. So that's what's going on with my life. And with that, let's get into today's topic. You guys know last week I talked a little bit about time and finding and making the time for your art. I want to go a little bit deeper into that because it's more than just, oh, if you were handed all 8 hours, you wouldn't know what to do with them, right? Because we need to go how to get from point A, where you're squeezing your art into the cracks, to this point over here where you are a full-time creative, or you're spending most of your time doing the stuff you like. Some of the things that I talk about all the time. The first one is do 30 seconds more of what you do every day. And let's take that all the way back, right? Like, let's look at that really practically. If you get up at 7 o'clock and you have a shower and you get your coffee or whatever, like, what are you doing from 7:29 and a half to 7:30? Like, looking that far into your daily routine and to your schedule can go a long way into finding more time to do your art whenever you build this kind of tidal wave of momentum, fitting it into those cracks. And what happens then is you start to, in your mind, you think ahead of what your next break is going to be, and you know exactly what you're going to do in that break. Sometimes it's not a problem of we don't have the time, it's a problem of we don't know what to do in that time. So get really clear on what you want to do, and then you start to figure out what to put in those 30-second intervals. And the second thing that I think about a lot when it comes to this 30 by 30 rule, the 30 seconds per day doing more of what you love, and then 30-day experiments with something new. This is my favorite thing ever because, you know, a lot of young people will read my stuff and they'll comment. They're like, I don't really think I'm good at anything, or you know, I don't know what to do with my life. And I think the 30-day test is the most magical thing that you could possibly do for your life or artistic career. Because if you do 30 days of something you think you might like, day after day, no weekends off, right? Day after day after day after day after day after day for 30 days. That will really put you in the test to see if you like this thing or not. And if you don't, hey, you only wasted 30 days of it. So this relentless prioritization, using the most of your time to figure out what you love most and then doing more of that. This week's question of the week comes from the YouTube comments. Andre Siegert, I hope I said that name correctly. Should have clarified the pronunciation before I jumped on here. But you guys can ask a question to the show anytime. Email me, Todd at toddbryson.com. Leave a comment down below or hit me up on Twitter at Todd Bryson. You can do any of those things and I will get back to you best I can and give you a shout out on the show. Andre asks, why do you ask about programming knowledge? Seems a bit random and out of context, although I'm sure it is not. And Andre's asking about, at the end of every show, I do an Ask the Audience. And sometimes, as you may have noticed, they're a little random. If you watched the show before, someone called me out once because I asked what was sitting directly to their left, right? Like that was the question of the day. And what I'm doing with these questions, like he uncovered my secret. I said it in the comments. Basically, what I'm trying to do is get to know you guys better. Like, this is not a one-way thing. Like, this isn't glamorous for me sitting in here talking to a camera if I don't get to have some dialogue and some interaction with you. So all of my Ask the Audiences are basically that. I want to know you better. I want to know what you guys are into. I want to know what you're watching. I want to start to be the guy beyond the screen so that I can figure out what you do and what you care about. So Andre, shout out to you. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for the rest of you to answering the questions. And really, I'm just trying to get to know you a little better. Right? Right? Oh man, I know you guys have been staring at this the whole time because it's definitely the most dope mug that I've had on the show so far. Kate got me this one, of course. Like, she gets all my cool mugs. I'm like, hey, this green one looks good. And she's like, what about one that's a stormtrooper? Wouldn't that be better? And of course, it is better. And so, you know, I gotta bring it on the show. Today's artist spotlight falls on Daily Music. So here's what's interesting. I've been listening to Jim Quick's podcast, Quick Brain, and I'll link that up in the description, of course. But one of the things that he said, I was listening to an episode, and he said, if you're studying or learning or writing or like trying to do anything to get in flow and stay focused on what you're doing, the best thing you can do is listen to Baroque music. And the thing about Baroque music is it often has 60 beats per minute, which aligns perfectly with the resting human heart rate. And like, I gotta say, like, I was skeptical at first because I'm like, really? Like that's the science behind it? But I've been really like trying it out and experimenting while I write and while I read with Baroque music. And I gotta say, for me at least, it has definitely been some improvement. And so Daily Music is a YouTube channel that has a lot of these master playlists on it. Like, I'm looking at this one right now. Classical music from the Baroque period, 2.5 hours. So in case you need like big, long chunks of study time, that's definitely the site to go on. That's definitely the site to try and check out and experiment with this. Like, who am I? I don't know. But try out Baroque music and see if it helps you in your art and in the stuff that you're trying to do to get more focused and get more done. That's it for this episode 33. Thank you so much, as always, for watching the show. Ask the audience. I got something specific this time, right? Like, so this relates to me. Sea ticks are very scary for some people, right? Like, Kate and I were in them. It was kind of an adventure, not really like one of those phobia things, but definitely some people are afraid of them. So my Ask the Audience this week, what is your biggest fear? Put that down in the comments below and we'll all come in and try to console each other this week. I want to know what your nightmares are. Put your biggest fear in the comments below. Again, don't forget, give this episode a thumbs up if you liked it. Once more, I'm Todd B from Tennessee, and I will talk to you next week.